Good evening, Nishika and Adya.
Good evening. Good evening,
Good
ma'am.
evening, Adya. Good evening, Nishika. So let us wait for the others also to join.
Ma'am, my science exam is on 7th, ma'am.
7th of March.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
what is your first exam?
Ma'am, it's AI, artificial intelligence, ma'am.
Okay, so you have opted for AI. And apart from the AI, which all subject do you have?
Ma'am,
Apart from the AI, which all subject do you have?
purpose of AI.
No, no,
Uh,
no.
okay.
Apart from the AI, you might have the other subject also,
Ma'am,
right?
first maths, ma'am. Maths,
Hmm, hmm,
Sanskrit,
hmm,
and then
hmm,
science, then
hmm.
social, then Hindi, ma'am. English also.
Okay, okay, okay.
English.
Okay, understood. Okay.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Neha.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Okay, so last class we have started the body movement chapter, and the different types, different numbers of the bones we have studied about the axial, about the um, perpendicular skeleton. So two divisions are there, upper one and the lower one. Upper one will be including the cranium part, and the lower one will be including the limbs and all, right? Just a minute. Okay, so let me share the screen again. And then we have discussed about the phalanges, also tarsal, metatarsal, all those things we have discussed. Now, coming to the types of the joints, there are the different types of the joints, and each and every joint, be it the fixed joint, be it the movable joint, be it the slightly movable joint, all are actually important, right? Or it is only one type of joints are important?
All are important, ma'am.
All are important. Why, Shansh, you are saying all are important? Why the fixed joints are important?
Ma'am, because ma'am, our like if our head moves, ma'am, like our head and upper jaw, ma'am, if that move, ma'am, then we cannot eat, ma'am, because if both moves, it will be very hard to work, ma'am. And also, ma'am, and our if our head moves, ma'am, our brain functionality can go wrong, ma'am.
Okay, correct, correct. Nishika, Neha, and Adya, can you please turn on your video? See, I can see Shriyansh, we can have the interaction, but I want others also to turn on the video. So that's good answer given by Shriyansh that yes, when we do not have the fixed joint in our skull, then what happens? Ultimately, some of the other movement will be there. Some of the joints, they will not be at the place, and because of that, they might shift actually a bit. Like for example, if I have the fingers, I cannot keep on holding like this, right? Straight, I'll get tired. My hands will get tired. My fingers will get tired. So sometime at some point, some moment, I will be feeling that I have to move it here and there. Same way, the skull is at not at a fixed point and all, then we might get those problems. We might get those trouble and all. Okay, so that's why it is important to have them at a fixed joint. Have you ever heard the word coordination? What does it mean? Coordination.
And like coordination means in a systematic way, in a
Ma'am,
systematic way.
working together.
What, Neha?
Working together.
Working together. Okay.
Yes, sir.
In a
Shriyansh, what you said?
ma'am, working together or doing anything in a systematic way, ma'am.
Okay, very good word you have. Systematic way. So now what happens? Like in your school also there are certain, hierarchy will be there. Do you know the meaning of hierarchy, right? Levels will be there, certain levels will be there, like the principal will be there, then vice principal will be there, then the floor in charge or maybe the coordinator will be there, then your class teacher will be there, then under that subject teacher will be there, right? A proper hierarchy is there. So if you have any problem, you will not be going directly to the principal, right, to get it resolved. You will be going to your class teacher or maybe to the subject teacher also. So you will be going to them and you will be putting forward your doubts and all those things. So that is what, that she will be putting forward to the next level. Then like this, each and every level will get to know. And if it is getting resolved at any level, then that's okay. But if it is not getting resolved, they will be taking it to the further levels and all. Same way in our body also, what is happening? A whole body is actually under the control. Whom? The brain is controlling everything. Each and every movement is controlled by the brain. And that is happening because of the coordination between different organs of our body, right? Different parts of our body are able to coordinate with the brain. That is why we are able to do it. It is not like my brain is saying me that I should dance, but I'm writing something, right? It never happened. If my brain is asking me to write, I'll write it. I will not start dancing it. Then someone will say me mad, that ma'am has gone mad. The brain has said to write, but she is dancing, right? So it never happened. So whatever is there, that will be actually instructed by the brain. Our brain will be telling us, and then we will be doing the activity. So that is what is the control and coordination. The brain is the brain is controlling, and coordination is happening among all the other organs. So if I am moving, my both the legs will move together. It is not like my one leg is moving, the other leg is standing at the one place. No, right? So that is the coordination which the brain is passing the signal to them. So that is why the movement is happening between them. The same way, the joints are also important, be it the fixed joint, be it the movable joint, or be it, the slightly movable joint. All the type of joints are very important for the development, for the movement of our body. So, but yes, the difference is like some of the joints have the complete the complete rotation actually, like like ball and socket joint, we can rotate them into the complete 360-degree angle, where some of the joints will have a limited kind of the movement where we cannot rotate them. Come like wrist have a kind of a little movement is present in them. And when we talk about the cranium, it has the fixed joint where it does not show any kind of the movement at all.
Ma'am,
So let us start with this types of movement now. Okay, so we have started last time. Huh? This I told you. My screen is visible to you all children, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So last time I told you a very good thing, which is like contractile protein. Since in our bones, what do we have? We have the contractile protein. So because of that only the movement is possible. So if this contractile protein is not present in our bones, then movement will not be able to become possible. It is like car. Car has the fuel. The car has the petrol. So since the petrol or diesel or the CNG is there, because of that reason, the car is able to move. Now, if we are removing the fuel from the car, will the car be able to move?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes. Same way in our body, contractile proteins, the bone should have it. Because of them only the movement is there. So if they are absent, then there will not be any kind of the movement. So first type of the joint is the ball and socket joint, where see in this chapter, basically the diagrams are important. Not to draw, but yes, to understand what they actually says or what they actually depict to us. So here in this, you can see there is a kind of the hole, right? A kind of the cavity is there where inside they are putting what? A kind of the structure. A minute, children. So there is actually a cavity. Inside the cavity, what happened? A round ball-like structure is fitted. Like you can see this one. And for doing this, there is an experiment also, a kind of the model making also. I think in your class also the teacher might have told you. Or you have made the model using this for this ball and socket joint in your school?
Ma'am, we don't have this chapter.
You don't have this. Any one of you who has the chapter in your school?
Ma'am, body movement.
Yeah, body movements. There you have made the model related to the ball and socket joint.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you are not aware how to make the model of this ball and socket joint?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, no. Then in that case, just a minute. Let me then go back and hmm, I'll show you then in that case. Hmm. Yeah, I won't be able to see. Hmm. So here in the book, it is given there. This is the ball and socket activity. See, how to make a model of this is you have to take a strip, roll a strip of paper into a cylinder. So you should not take a thin paper, you should take a little hard paper, okay? So you have to take a roll of paper and then you have to make it into the cylinder. Do you know how to make a cylinder using the paper? You have to just roll it, okay? The one sheet of A4 size paper, you have to roll it and have to make a cylinder. Then make a hole, make a small hole in an old rubber or plastic ball. So if you have the if you have the ball like this is the ball, okay? Normal ball, what do we use to play actually? So in that ball, what do we need to do is we have to make a hole, okay? And the hole size should be in such a way that our paper cylinder should get fit into it. And push the paper cylinder into it as shown as in the figure. So once you make the hole in the ball, plastic ball, you or in the rubber ball, then you have to insert the paper cylinder into it. Now you can also stick the cylinder on the ball. So if you don't want to make the hole, then in that case, the second option is that on the top of the ball, you can stick the cylinder. Now put the ball in a small bowl. So that structure, what you will be getting, this is a ball, and above that you have inserted what? A cylinder. Now both the things, what you need to do in the bowl. As soon as when you keep it in the bowl, what happens? There will be the rotation in the bowl. Okay. Your structure, the model, what you have made will start rotating completely. So like this, it will start going, like this, it will start going, like this, it will start going. Okay. In the form of the circle, it starts rotating. So does the ball rotate freely inside the bowl? Does the paper cylinder also rotate? Now, when your ball is rotating, then definitely who should move? The paper cylinder should also move. It is not like only ball has to move. Both the things, with paper cylinder as well as the ball, both the things will start rotating. Fine. Now, this was the model. Now, the same model is there in our body also. Now, imagine that the paper cylinder is your arm. So your arm is what? Nothing. It is a paper cylinder, and the ball is its end. So the ball, what we have, is the end of our arm. The bowl is like the part of the shoulder to which your arm is joined. So our shoulder basically has a cavity that is basically acting as what? A kind of the bowl to us. So three things we have now. The shoulder is acting as like a cavity, the bowl. The second thing is the arm, which is acting as cylinder. And the end of the cylinder, it's acting as like the ball. The rounded end of one bone fits into the cavity of the other bone. So here what happens? The ball will be easily fitted into the bowl. Because of that, we say that it allows the movement in all the directions. Clear? So that is how this model will work. Okay. Now moving moving back to the PPT. Hmm. So that is how it was there. The second type of the joint is the pivotal joint. Here, what happened? You can see in the picture. It is present in the neck region where the movement is allowed in the left, right, upward. A minute, children. So in this joint, cylindrical bones rotate in a ring. One bone pivots within another bony structure that forms a ring. So you can see in this structure, clearly it is given. Here, what is present? They are the group of the rings which are present. And because of that, what happened? The movement is there. So all the rings will move one side, then all the rings will move the other side whenever it is required. So it is not like only one bone movement will be there. All the complete neck we are moving it. When we turn our head side to side or forward and backward, this joint in neck helps in the movement. So forward and the backward direction it will be helping, and also it will be helping in side to side or left to right side of the movement. The next type of the joint is the hinge joint. It is like a door. You might have seen the door, right? When we talk about the door, how the movement is there in the door? How can you move the door? In which direction you can move the door?
Anytime.
Mom, back and forth.
Yes, very good, ma'am. Back and forth. So you can just move it forward, then backward, moving forward and backward, which is back and forth. So apart from that, can you rotate it completely to 360-degree angle or can you rotate it completely to 180-degree angle? So it is not possible, right? Same way in a hinge also, there will be the movement where only the forward and the backward movement is allowed, or we can say back and forth movement is allowed. Clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So bones can move only along one axis to bend, and it allows only back and forth movement like elbow, knees, finger joint. So see, this is acting like a hinge joint. So this in the door, what do we have? It's called as hinge. And because of that hinge which are present in our doors, it is called as a hinge joint, where fourth back and forth movement is allowed. So here also back and forth movement will be allowed like this. Then the next one is the skeletal system, which is basically the framework of our body. It consists of the endoskeleton. Endoskeleton means the skeleton which is present inside the body. Like bones, cartilages, joints, they form the skeleton of the human body. So skeleton does not only include the skeleton, it includes the other component also like the bones, cartilages, and joints. Basically, the skeletal system or skeleton will give the framework and it also support and give the shape to the body and help in the movement. So these are the major function what the skeleton will be doing. It will give the framework to the body, it supports the body and also it gives shape to the body and then it also help in the movement. Then at last it also protects the inner organ. So whatever the organs we have like the heart we have, lungs we have, so they are also protected by the skeleton. Now sometimes what happened accidentally we fell down. So during that time the x-ray will be done to identify the structure of the bones and joints. So if we fell down, then what happened? Immediately doctor will be saying that the X-ray need to be taken because through the X-ray only they will be seeing your joints. They will be able to see what your bones are actually, how they are looking. Then the bones, hard part of our body are called as the bones. So two things we have. Bones are basically the hard part, whereas the cartilages, they are hard or not? When we talk about cartilages, are they hard or are they soft?
Mom, they're not that hard, but not that soft too.
Correct. So they are called as the soft tissue. Now, if I say they are the soft tissue, does it mean that we can break them down?
No, ma'am.
No, mom.
No. But if I say bones are hard, but can we break them down?
No, mom.
Yes, it happens, right? It happens. So if we fell down, then what happened? Immediately, tuck, the bone will get fractured. Correct? So it's not important that if anything is hard, then we cannot break it. We can actually, because if something is hard, then it is brittle in nature. It means it can be broken down, right?
Car-
And let's say, yeah, Shanj,
cartilages are not harder than bones and not softer than muscles.
correct. They are not harder, they are not softer, but yes, definitely they are the kind of the soft tissues which cannot be broken. Now, uh, like ear, in the ears, you might have seen, right, the down part of our ear, that is basically the earlobe. The earlobe is the complete structure we call as the earlobe, right? So that has the cartilage. Now you can bend it, you can rotate it, you can bend it. But is it anything we are going to do it? It's going to break down? No, right? So since it has soft tissue, it is actually bendable. We can bend it, but yes, we cannot break it. Whereas in the case of the bones, what happened? They are hard. At the same time, they are breakable. You can break them depending upon your density, depending upon the amount of the calcium your bones are made up of. Fine. So hard parts of our body are called as bones. They are strong and non-flexible. Since they are hard, 1 minute, children. So they are strong, non-flexible tissue. They are made up of the calcium. So that is why our parents, what they force us, they will be always forcing us to drink milk. Sufficient amount of the milk we need to take it, because when we take more amount of the calcium, then only our bones will become little harder, and once they become harder, then chances of getting them break will become little less. Bones form the framework of our body. Various bones in our body are bones of the upper limbs, bones of the lower limbs, skull, rib cage, backbone, shoulder bone, pelvic bone. These are some different types of the bones we have in our body. Now, bones of upper limb. Upper limb means, so each upper limb is made up of 30 bones. So here, what do we have? We have a 30 bones. First one, the arm. One long bone, which is called as the humerus with a rounded head. So here, this is the humerus, which has a round. 1 minute, children. Then the forearm, it consists of two bones, which are the radius and ulna. So this are the radius and ulna. Then wrist have the 8 short carpal bones. Here we'll have them. Then palm has the 5 long metacarpal bones. And then fingers have the long bones, which are called as the phalanges. So thumb will have 2 and fingers will have the 3. So in the previous video, we have seen it, right? About the phalanges, the metacarpal, the carpal, all those things we have seen it. So in the thumb will have the 2 phalanges, whereas the remaining 4 fingers we will have the 3 phalanges. So likewise, we will have the 30 bones. Clear? So 1 here, 2 here, 8 here, 5 here, then 2, and then 12. Kindly count it how many it is.
Ma'am,
What is the
30.
total number is huh?
30, ma'am.
It's coming correctly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that is how we have the 30 bones in the upper limbs.
And 31.
Okay, great, great.
Ma'am, 30 only,
Now
ma'am.
coming. Okay, great. Huh? Anything to ask?
No, ma'am.
Okay. If someone is asking something, because for me the voice is not coming clearly. Okay. So lower limbs now also has 30 bones. Thigh bone, which has a strong, longest bone, which is called as the femur. This is the knee, where we call as a patella bone, and it is a cup-shaped bone which has 1 in number. Then the legs will have 2 bones here, tibia and the fibula and the tibia. And the foot will have again the different bones, 7 tarsus, which form the heels and ankle, then 5 metatarsal and 14 phalanges. So 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 7, and then 5, then 14.
Ma'am, it's 30.
Okay. So that is how the lower limbs will have. Now, this rib cage is very, very important part of our body. The reason why the rib cage is important, because here they will be protecting us some of the important organs like the heart. They will be protecting the heart. They will be protecting our liver and the lungs also. So here inside what happened, they will be protecting the different organ. That is why we should have the rib cage. But it depends completely on the person to person. In some of the person, since the amount of the fat in the body of that person is good, because of that it is not visible. But sometimes you might have seen the poor children, they do not get sufficient amount of the food to eat. So in their case, what happens, the rib cage are very visible from the outside the body also. So it's important that rib cage should be strong enough. It should have the layer of the fat, so that if you fell down also, in that case the fat should protect your rib cage from getting it break down. So it is a box-like structure that connects chest bone and the backbone. Ribs have the 12 pairs, so they are present in a pair. So this is actually like, one pair. Sternum and thoracic vertebrae form the rib cage. So this is thoracic vertebrae. The front side is called as thoracic vertebrae, and the last part, like at the behind this one, this side is called as the sternum. This the whole one is called as the sternum, and they will be protecting the important organs like the heart, liver, lungs inside them. Then the next one, backbone. This is what this backbone has so many smaller bones. What is the name of those? Those smaller bones are called as
Ma'am, vertebrae.
very good, very good, very good. They are called as vertebrae. So all these smaller bones which are present in our body, they are called as vertebrae. So that is why we say that there are vertebrae in the backbone. So since there are so many small bones joined together, we call it as a vertebrae. So located at the back side of the body, composed of 26 serially arranged small bones called as vertebrae. So 26 in number they are present all together. That is why they are the small bones called them as vertebrae. And it is a point of attachment for ribs. So at this place what happens? The ribs will be attached. So like this, here, like this, like this, like this. At different points, they will be attaching to this vertebrae. It provides support to the head also. So with the help of this vertebrae, the So it provides support to the head also, and it also protects the spinal cord. Just a minute, children. The next one is the shoulder bones. It is made up of three bones: collarbone, shoulder blade, and the upper arm bone. So it has three bones together: collarbone, shoulder blade, and the upper arm bone. Then the pelvic bone, which is basically present in the pelvic region, which is your thigh region. So it encloses the portion of the body below stomach. So you might have seen in yourself also when you sit. How do you sit? Right? When you sit, your thighs will get closer to the stomach. Correct? Yes, children. When we sit, the thighs get closer to the stomach.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So that is the place where the pelvic joint are present and also the pelvic bones are present. So it encloses the portion of the body below stomach, and this is the part we sit on. So we will be actually going closer to the stomach and then we will be sitting. Then the next bone are the skull bones. So total 22 bones are there, which are the fixed joint. It is a very important part. The brain is present in a box-like structure called as the cranium. It consists of two types of the bone, which is basically the cranial bone and the facial bone. So two types of bones are present in them, cranial and the facial. Cranial means skull. So the bones which are present in the skull. And facial means on the face part of it. Okay. So in the cranial bone, there will be the 8 bones present, and the facial part, there will be the 14 bones present. The next one, cartilages, some additional part of the skeleton that are not as hard as bone and can be bent. These are semi-transparent, elastic, and flexible connective tissue. They are found in the nose, ear, trachea, covering of bones, and they are movable joint. They maintain the shape and flexibility of the organ and also support the structure. So this is the trachea. So trachea is basically the windpipe. Okay, trachea is what? It is the windpipe. So in the windpipe, this windpipe is also made up of the cartilage. Now what happened? Now you might have noticed, like I'm not able to breathe properly, right? I'm breathing faster. I'm trying to get breathe actually because I'm not well, right? So in that case, my trachea does not have the sufficient amount of the oxygen. So due to insufficient amount of the oxygen, does my trachea is getting breakdown or it's getting collapse? No, right? It is because this trachea has the C-shaped cartilage ring. So since the trachea is made up of what? It is made up of the C-shaped cartilage ring. Therefore, in the absence of air, it does not break down. This is very important for the grade 10. You will be learning this, that why the trachea does not get breakdown in the absence of air. So sometimes what happens when we are not able to breathe properly, in that case, the sufficient air is not there in the trachea. But in spite of not having sufficient air, they do not break down. So it is because of the C-shaped cartilage ring. So since you can see in this picture also here, this is the first ring, second ring, third ring, like this we have. So first ring, second ring, third ring, fourth, fifth, sixth. So all they are what? That whole trachea is made up of the cartilage ring. So that is why it does not get break down in the absence of the air ocean. Clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So any doubt, children, you have till here?
No, ma'am.
Nishika, Neha, Shriyansh, Adya, no doubts?
No, ma'am. No.
I think Vishika is done with the exam. Shriyansh and Neha will be doing it on 27th, right? They are not Neha and Adya will be doing on 27th, and Shriyansh will be going from first onwards, right? Okay. And if in case children you feel like you have any doubt, any point of time, just message me. I'll clarify all your those doubts. Okay. So it's not important that you should wait for my class to come on, right? So maybe we don't have the class, so but feel free to message me and to ask your doubts and clarify them. Clear?
Ma'am,
Yeah. Tell me.
like in ribcage part, ma'am, we have two floating bones.
Two floating ribs, actually.
Like this,
Hmm.
ma'am. Ma'am, how do they float, ma'am?
See, in the center, actually, why they're called as floating? Because in the center, what the bone we have, they are not connected to them.
Mom, it's
Okay,
not
all the
connected.
other bones, when we talk about, they are completely connected to the center bone.
Yes.
Whereas in the case of the floating ribs, those last two bones are just connected to the center one bone, but not rotated completely, attached again completely to the center bone. That is why they are called as the floating rib, because they are not joined together to the center one.
Mom, they're not joined to the sternum or the breastbone.
Yes, they are not joined to the center bone, which is the sternum. So that is why they are the floating, since they do not have any kind of the connection with the center bone.
Kidneys are located below the waist or above the waist?
Below the
Like where are kidneys located?
kidneys are located below the waist, below the abdomen, you can say that.
Okay, ma'am. Understood.
Okay. So kidney you have, liver you have, pancreas you have, they are present each above each other. And then stomach also.
Ma'am, what?
So it's I think wait, let me show you. You might not have seen the 3D structure of the human. Maybe in the next class I'll show you the 3D structure. So what happened when we see the 3D structure there, you will be able to see the exact position. Like the front side you will be able to see a small stomach, then down to it you will be able to see a leaf like structure, which is the pancreas. Basically they will be present there. So that structure I'll show you to have a better clarification regarding the position of the organs or the systems in our body. Okay, so brain also, and not even this part, like you will be able to see minute thing also, like trachea also you can see clearly how it looks like. You can see the lungs, and the lungs, what are the different parts involved there. So all those things I'll show you then maybe the next classes. But just remind me that I have to show you that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, children, then I'll wind up the class here. If in case you have any doubt, you can ask me.
Thank you, Mom.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mom.
Thank you, Adya.
Thank you, ma'am.